Oh, on a personal level, David, his exposure is more limited. Craig's.
No.
His same exposure as Craig's?
No, more exposure to Craig. They're not going after Craig, they're coming after.
They're coming after him.
Well, Craig's uncollectible.
Craig's uncollectible, and Craig didn't. The debt refinancing agreement puts Frank squarely in the crosshairs, regardless of whether
Yes, it
there's
does.
business or purpose or not. The fact is that entire series of transactions.
Frank is betting on this agreement,
Yeah.
bets on the success of this rule.
They don't even care about Craig right now. Frank's the one they're after.
Yeah, it's all over for the, which is exactly the way I wanted to let them come after me. They come.
Yes, you're right, you can still protect yourself.
I have protected my, they'll probably, this is a simple trade-off. I close down Doggone Mirabolous, I take $3 million and I crush them. I make mincemeat of the IRS, and I will make mincemeat of
They've
it.
made a lot of mistakes.
But that doesn't serve the better purpose. Finish building the $1 billion company. Who cares about $132 million?
It's not the dollar I care about. I mean, I want to be clear about that. I could care less for $200 million.
You can remember when 132 million used to be a lot of money.
I remember 132 bucks was a lot of money.
Well, good, I'll take that one. Let me have that one, please.
Peanuts.
But
I
it's
remember
not
running
the
down there
dollar.
with
It's
the banker
just-
to cash the $500 check so they would keep the lights on.
I remember walking over to the Boheme to bail out with the last $78 in the checking account. But it's
This
not the
is
dollars
their,
that's
no,
bothering me.
and then I had this discussion with them, this is their job. You have to go to tell the IRS in a convincing way that I didn't steal their money, that Mirabolous didn't steal their money, that probably that even Vandenberg and Byers and Virgin didn't steal their money and I covered it up. Those are the three goals. Panel's completely okay, he's ready, he asked me a whole bunch of questions. He doesn't see anything, they don't see anything. The only problem is the other side doesn't see it. Now, when they get all the financial stuff that you guys are preparing by January, they're gonna look at it and say, he didn't steal the money. That's their only concern at the moment. If the case fails, and it fails in good faith, there will be no repercussions to anything. If it works, there is no problem. It's not going to take 5 years to have that answer. It's foolish for us to
Frank,
try to
even
push that out.
Even if the case fails, they still would have received more money during the course of the failure than they ever would have
I'm not
received.
worried about winning.
No, I
I'm not
understand,
worried
but
about winning.
That's
I'm
true.
Trust me, it's not the worry about one, it's not any of that that's got me, that just doesn't sit right now. It's, none of that's bothering me. Again, the dollar amounts don't matter, the win or lose to the IRS doesn't matter. I mean, the fact is, we're planning to pay them in full anyways. All right, so.
I see this as a discount.
It just, it's one of those where suddenly what we said, yeah, we can do it in 5 years, and you already had the plan on the table. Yes, the value of the company's gone up, there's more on the table and everything else, but suddenly we're able to do it in 2 years.
We're not. I'm going to write down a nice letter that says, the new buyer, I agree, in light of your conversations about borrowing the money, I went to the bank to see if they could borrow the money. Here's what the bank told me, they can actually borrow the money. It's not going to happen for at least a year, but it really has to be seasoned. By the way, I negotiated a new deal that made this much larger, twice as large as we expected, 6 times as large as it was, and part of my condition for that was they had 24 months to pay this sum of money. You're $132 million on the balance to me. Why did it happen in 24 months? Not that I care about you, I care about me. I want my $100 million in 24 months. You're the beneficiary of it, just like I told you. Now, with that in mind, here comes the Praetorian Guard, because we're going to wipe out the Sunshine Debt, and we'll file an offer of compromise. We're not going to just go roll over and let them put it in grade. We're going to lose. We just need to know we're going to lose. So we can, incrementally dare grade for the fact that we're going to lose this fight. We're going to lose it. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll change their policy midstream. We're going to bring the action to try to abate.
How big is Sunshine?
60.
Trust me, it's about 25.
Is that 60 of the 132 or 60 plus 132?
60 plus 132. We're going to go argue the Paradigm PBS thing. We got lots of work for people to do. We're not just going to roll over on this. In fact, it's going to look the exact reverse. We're going to have gone from rolling over to being very aggressively pushing up the positions, trying to cut down the amount of money that we owe. We're going to tell them, They hope that they can get an existing IRS auditor to retire this next week, so she can come to work for us and do the employment audit on this case.
Nice.
She's there right now. They can't get her to quit because they really didn't have work for her. Now they'll get her to quit, she'll come and do this case. And they'll believe whatever she says. We're going to audit it, we're going to argue about the payroll numbers, we didn't get the credits from the disadvantaged employees that pursue the member. I mean, we can run down, we're going to start fighting the dollar amount now. That's what we're going to do. But one way or another, we're selling this business in 2009.
2009.
2009 is a long time away.
It's an eternity here, but that's, again.
It's really like tomorrow.
No.
It is.
Can you imagine how many things are under the bridge by the time tomorrow is?
Yeah,
in the
but
world?
you understand the time of salaries.
You do understand.
2009 is.
Tomorrow.
We're gonna go address that elephant right up front. I can take the money, I've sent all the proof that.
It's not even the taking, the funny part is it's none of that, because I think we've already laid all that on the table. It's just that all of a sudden we come back 6 weeks after meeting, yes, we're larger than we thought we were going to be, which means we've got a better opportunity to get it paid off sooner. But we said, it's gonna take us at least a year to unravel these records. I'll be honest with you, I'm still not convinced we even want this person to come in and do the audit on the stuff, because I'm leery of what can come out of an audit going through on the records. I'm almost, if the goal is to get it paid off and make this thing go away, I don't want to have anything that we're saying, but we're hedging on this or we're hedging on this. I'd rather just say, this is what's been reported, we know this is over-reported, we don't even care, let's just get it done.
And, and by the way, on the way back, I was in that position too. If all we're gonna pay is the taxes, and we're not gonna have to pay the penalties and not have to go through an abatement for it, then skip it.
That goes back to our discussion from earlier about AEM. In every scenario I go through, I can't see how we win by doing it, because we're going to have a huge cost up front. We open ourselves up to discovering something that shouldn't exist. We open ourselves up to an audit that tells us something that is different than we
It's
believe.
going to get worse.
And no,
There's no way. The liability may shift. That's what.
The liability may shift, but the problem is, if we come back with anything different than what we reported, and we get an auditor sign off, in order for them to sign off, they have to be comfortable. I don't think there's an auditor in this country that can sign off on AEM the way it sits right now. Just in case you wonder. But beyond that, if they come back with anything that they have comfort on that doesn't corroborate what we've told them, we just shot ourselves in the foot. That's our last hole of credibility. This thing is unauditable, and that's why I think that.
And frankly speaking, it really is, unless you spend a bunch of time and money. Hey, let me tell you what. I am 90% okay towards that goal.
I know you are. I know.
Yeah.
But
About
not
7 o'clock.
compromise. All they'll do is reduce penalties. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean by compromise.
Okay.
No, they're not going to compromise on the trust fund.
Or the regular tax. But the more I thought about this whole argument, the more I realized what I need to do down from the fact that if we actually get something done, it flies in the face of what we said, which is these things are such a disaster, it's almost going to be impossible to get it done. And that's what we laid out to them in July. It just scares the bejeebers out of me to actually get an audit done on this. Because if we're able to get it done, it's going to take an eternity, which doesn't help us in the compliance.
So, then you just made my case, Dan. You just made my case. My case is, here's the reported tax. For Paradigm PBS. Sunshine Companies is gone. Offering compromise only, teeny tiny amount, let them reject it, but at least we'll try it.
Right.
Pay for that expense, we promise Craig we do our best.
Right.
Cost us $50,000 to run this offering compromise through. We might get lucky. Somebody may like him, his uncle's there or something, I don't know. Or the IRS will switch its policies. And if we lose it in a year, we lose it in a year. We'll just have to, Craig will have to know that at least he's got a salary if he has no assets.
What are you gonna offer? What are you gonna offer?
I think based on his 433A, he's not worth more than $1 million to the IRS over a 10-year period. He's not based on the rest of the sales stack, it can't be worth more than $5 million. So we offer them $2 million.
That's what I was
Take that
saying.
in a heartbeat. And if they don't take that, they're idiots, because that's the best, that is literally the best possible case scenario. How are you gonna possibly pay a guy to be any type of executive if he's got an IRS lien on there? I mean, you destroy your credibility as a public company.
$2 million.
$2 million is generous.
Very generous.
So we offer $2 million on Sunshine, and we tell them, we don't want to spend any more money on PBS. It's a screwed up doggone mess. We're gonna just agree to pay the $132 million. It's not even $132 million actually, the note covers the difference. We're gonna pay you the note, which is the full value of the assets.
What's the number?
The BCA note for $132 million.
We're gonna have BCA. Let me rephrase that. We need to find a way to get BCA cleaned up.
Yeah, actually.
In order for us to have any shot, we shot ourselves in the foot. I took the bullet for that because Berkowitz threw it out in the meeting, which is, you told us this was gonna happen, you told us this was gonna happen, you told us this was gonna happen. We're 9 months further down the road since what you told us was going to start happening, and all we've done is incur the liability. So I want to make sure that.
Yes. Oh, I see. Yeah. I thought you moved.
No.
Okay, yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
That part of BCA is fine. Yes. By the end, the rest of it, I was hoping was done.
Okay, I
Yeah.
have a vote, but by December 31, we need to make sure we've got that.
Yeah.
That's my only concern there, because otherwise they'll come back and they're not gonna be at all passive through this thing. And we can see what we do, they're gonna come back, that's pleasing.
Yeah, you know, that's why, everything you say though, it all brings us back to the exact point.
No.
No.
Again, I'm not worried about the settlement, I'm not worried about anything else, it's the fact that suddenly this balloon, this is gonna miraculously go on in 2 years, when we already said it's gonna take us a year at least to season the book and everything else to see if we have a shot, and we've gotta have time to roll it
And I'm
up.
not suggesting we go and change, I mean, like I said, maybe we leave the $1 million for next year, and then we go to $2 million the year after.
No,
All
it's
we're gonna
okay,
do
we're
is
gonna-
call the balloon in 2 years.
Okay, but let's step back for just a second. Let's assume for argument's sake, we can get the book in reasonable form January 1. We have to season it for 12 months, and even have the ability to get a loan on it, then we would, in theory, that gets us all the way through 2007. Then, assumedly, if we can get all this done properly, and we can add, if we get it done right, we can. But we have till December of next year before we even are gonna have a shot at really knowing what we're working with, because we will finally have had a chance to prove it out. I understand what you're saying.
Who are you telling this to? Are you telling me that's the truth? Are you telling me this what you want to try to persuade someone to?
No, there's a certain level of truth to it, but if you go to the outside,
Time to season, they're ready to make.
I heard what Robert said.
It's all on pro forma.
It's all on performance.
All you need to do is have the right platform, that's what MBA is.
Okay.
MBA has a solid audited history for a decade and a half.
Okay.
The
So we
question-
roll everything up under there. and-
Right, that's why I'm rolling it back to there. Everybody's gonna say, well, they only make, 1.5%. And we're gonna say, that's exactly right. On the first 500 million, they make 1.5%. On the next 5.5 million, they make 2.5. On the third 500 million, they're making 4. They're too small in their size. What's not readily apparent is their platform isn't really big enough to do it. We have to take our ThinkWorks system and insert it, but the same principle applies. You make a lot more money on $1.5 billion than you do in 500
Oh, sure,
million.
absolutely, economies of scale, oh my yards.
So I'm not at all worried about getting the money. I'm just worried about making it seem rational.
That's, again, the rational part's the part that's been killing me in this whole thing.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Dan Myers insisting that it be rational. What is the world coming to?
That was shocking. One,
While we're talking to Frank, why don't you look at these, because I have to deal with this tomorrow morning.
I saw that.
No, there's been reported.
So I haven't seen the notes on it, but I got the copy now.
Oh.
I literally, or 2 hours ago.
Argent Firma is gonna go to a spreadsheet for registration purposes, because it's holding all the coastal stuffs. And we'll have 5 owners of that. So they'll drop it to the separate sheet over here with these. Sullivan, Glenn, all that cards. Just some people to come in, just so we don't have to have 50 million resumes put out in this thing. see things going and moving. The blue boxes are being closed or are closed. The green boxes are closed or are closed. The blue boxes are shut.
There was some.
What do you mean by that?
To Titanium or over to there, or Morales.
Well, our discussion the other day, you're gonna have to do all the other stuff. I don't care if we dated 12/31/06 and make it retro to 1/1/06, but I think we're gonna have to do that. We just need to figure out what the money is for most licenses.
Well, just close them all down, just transfer the business over.
If we shut it down, we have to lock it down, and that's great, and have to go on down. So we have to make it retroactive. We have to make something as of 1/1, so we don't have to go through the audit for 6 months. Even if it was July 1, we did it as part of ECA, we have to audit for 6 months. Exactly.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world. Now you know what my nightmare's been for the last 2 weeks. I don't mind doing a retro agreement to make sure it doesn't affect my licensing. We need to figure that out.
Yep. Okay. I'll start working on that. That's, yeah.
Yeah. That, again, we want our spot, but I can't imagine anything
That's
else.
not like, yes, I don't.
More importantly, the thing I actually thought about was, we're saying this is how the tax is recorded. You know, PDS for the first 6 months, great, that's good. Except that all that you have to pay is contact. How is anybody gonna reasonably say there's not a line for free? You know what I mean?
That's right. I heard you say that.
So, I just.
Yeah. No, that's right. You're right. Hey, Jay and Shane, fuel pack.
Companies? A lot.
How we doing on the order?
I think we have a new one.
Larson?
No, well, Larson, it turns out Larson bought Chastang Farrell, which is a local company. And Chastang, I met with Larry Cleese, who happens to be a good friend, like 25-year friend of Bill Walsh. So Larson, the managing partner of Larson, happens to be a friend of Jason Carlson's.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, happens to be.
But they're good
They're top 20. They're number 17 with the purchase of, they're like 18 with the purchase of Chastang.
Aren't they based at the Midwest?
Huh?
They're based out of the Midwest?
They're based in Minnesota, but they're buying the company here that has a very large presence here. They've got 4 offices, one of which is in Orlando. Actually, the guy I used to work for started at this one.
Did we get
20 years ago.
explanation
Of what?
why they want to resign?
Yeah, they cancel us. They have 2 staff, though.
And what does it say in the letter?
The resignation, I don't have it yet, but that's what it's gonna say.
Because they completed the audit, they're not withdrawing the audit?
No.
Nothing like that?
No, and actually, they were begging me to find out to stay engaged. I'm actually.
Probably do the PEO business.
Huh?
Probably want to do the PEO business, right?
They would actually do the PEO business, they would actually do any of it, but they want to stay engaged because, I mean, Jay actually likes us. Jay was actually really ticked that his partners made him withdraw from engagement, but the reality was, he figured they need about 5 staff to do this, including managers and seniors and whatnot. They have 2 staff available, one of whom is, got 2 years of experience now, the other one has 1 year of experience. That's what we wrapped up our audit with last year, was a partner in those 2 people. They can't handle us. And when Katie came in to look at it, and they figured out we've gone from 30 to 80 companies, there was just nothing left for them. They physically can't handle us. So I'm actually.
We keep one of the big companies, so
Well, I don't think a big company will take us right now, and I think Bill's relationship with Chastang, with Larry
I'm sure
Reese
that
there.
will help, right?
Plus, it happens to be Chastang's the firm that has the Nexia name.
Right.
So there's a lot of intricate reasons, Jason Miller, the managing
Right, no, I
partner there.
understand Jason's father, the client, and all that stuff.
Larry Cleese? Yeah, Bill Walsh was involved
You
too,
don't?
so that's the partner
What
we're
do you,
trying
what
to
do you think of
engage.
these guys? Frank?
Let me see.
What do you think of the firm?
I think Mike.
What is the general perception in the accounting community of the firm?
Of Chastang?
Yes.
They're one of those, lower middle. But they're part of a 40-50 firm network in the US.
Called Nexia.
And they're also,
Which is
their relationship
international.
with American Express.
Well, American Express bought firms, and so American Express had.
No, American Express has sold it to H&R Block.
Right, but they had bought it all at the time. They've subsequently sold it, but.
They're pretty small. they've got two, Larry and there's another partner of mine who are pretty good. But there's another firm up there, we're at 4X PwC partners. You set it up. They're,
Is that more Stevens?
no, I've got
Okay.
We can't, but just change the start.
But we'll keep James Moore on for some of the subsidiary events.
Well, and they said they'd come in for the interview process, they would come help out, they would write whatever.
I'm sure they'd like to
need
continue the PES. It's easy.
I have another one, like UHY.
Yeah, they're Presidians.
Morning.
Look,
I don't even tell them who you
Bill says to me, he says, yeah, they're Chesting's looking to merge with a firm in the Midwest. I'm like, can you tell me who? He's like, no. I said, can you tell me who it's not? Is it UHY? He goes, no, it's not them. I said,
No, all right.
because that would have been immediately the day.
It doesn't go anywhere, so it won't go anywhere now.
Yeah, not that we won't want to deal with them, we just won't want to mention we're Presidian.
Not today, next year maybe, Phil.
Let me give you the other side of this, Aaron. I got a real good feel on where our numbers are going right now. After this, I'm just gonna pay this. Take about 6 months. I'm gonna change some of our plans to stay with this.
You're killing me. Hey, where are you? Yeah, go ahead and park there. I'm at Trust right now. I'll be out of here in about 5 minutes. And I'll walk
Did you hear
over there and
about
meet you.
the Federal Reserve building?
Yeah,
Yes, that's what.
I'll call you when I'm on my way.
I'm going up on Thursday.
All right, then, bye.
I've got the 4 people, business turnaround specialists. I've got an ex-PW public company, she's very heavily in my productivity. She rang me up and said, what do you think? We might come and talk to us. She's interested. I'm getting around just now. And another guy who's the managing director for one of the largest trading corporations in the country. We can probably get on 2.5 or 3 grand. He knows everybody.
Did you get the spreadsheet?
Did
Did you get the spreadsheet on the employees?
We paid $1.2 million.
I started to put together.
On a note.
I have a copy of it. She has.
Is it Shell?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have.
Does it have anything in it?
One piece of paper.
It's worth $1.2 million.
Make sure that we had no obligation on WTS.
I'm sure Wellington's going to buy it for $1.2 million because otherwise I'm going to ask you to go on there.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's why
I got
we
a lot more.
all those things we forgot.
I have a lot more exception letters than they do employment agreements.
Semantic.
So either there's a lot of people with letters and no employment agreements, or we can get the employment agreement approach.
No, there's a standard employment agreement, so it was non-standard, essentially what was non-standard.
Let's go right away.
Is that what it was?
Here's what I'm
So
saying.
you said, here's all the exception letters. Here's
By all accounts right now.
The rest of them are standard.
I give you this rest from Harvard.
We had to, when we were doing them, they just kept going off the reservation. When we were doing it, we would have a standard employment agreement and the
That's
exception.
our plan. We'll skills January, February, and March. And the next one's up on consulting.
I mean, that's what a couple of these attorneys, you know, snuck through and.
If we can get these 2 guys to do it January, February, we just don't want to do any more this year, we need to do it January, February. Let's get these guys scheduled for January, February.
Some of the side, some of the exceptions. Some of the terms are so.
Yeah.
$25 billion. It's a housing trends or something. We have like Mark.
Yeah. I mean, Frank wants to read them all anyway, so we're not too stressed about it, so we're just gonna.
I think we need to retreat shareholders.
I thought you already did that last week, I was waiting for it.
What?
We did that last week, I think.
We've got cross
Shareholder
shareholder
rings?
rings to stretch that out.
Reduce that.
Close down.
Yeah, we need to reduce shareholder.
Just now, subscription training 25p.
I mean, something of a basic shareholder.
It should be making between.
That's why I said if we can lock it in something, we need to lock it in right now. It's like, yeah.
There's something, right?
We need to engage attorneys in the UK.
Well, we need to get,
People did a
Maybe you get-
consistently.
yeah, like in the next week, I'll get that done.
Probably maybe we can't just.
Okay.
These guys.
We want to get, what we want to get to, full grade to, and then we'll start hashing out the rest of
Good
it.
people, fourth best buyer.
Pretty much good. Get everybody to agree.
Very
First, go through, get everybody in the agreement, and say you got till January 1 to sign it. Yeah, okay. We gotta resolve all these other issues at the
Let's
same
go
time.
with this, I thought we've already been able to move on to smaller, next deal or.
Sure.
Posting, so we can find 6 people, get up on Thursday or Thursday next week. Go to the office and we set up, spoke straight through that, mid-range, last night. So we're gonna find 6 people, I'm talking to them about probably a January start.
Go ahead with your Houston guy, I looked at the resume, I was like, oh, yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yes, we'll come back with an offer for 25 tomorrow.
If we do 150, we'll get, he's got on the 175 already. This guy, really good guy as well. He's been working with Fox. He's actually in the
That's another thing, I thought we were gonna do that under here.
Yes, you're a good point.
The only thing I've got, Steve is checking on the rules on that right now, on the law, since it was an ownership change. So Steve's checking on that before we sign the final paperwork, and if we get an answer from him, that we're. Right, yeah, and if we would like to set up for about 5 minutes. Are you ready? I'm not ready.
About,
Just come through some more of this and some of the audit stuff. It's not anything.
Let's just do this one step.
It's not critical, but it's kind of always here. I've got Scott, which I did take the lead on the videos when I was with the clients and attorneys to get everybody on board. I'm trying to see if Scott can take leadership role on that. So I want to see that, and that's what, what are you planning to do, Scott?
Okay.